All right, welcome everybody. I am here with my good friend Nichole McDade, awesome real estate agent, awesome friend extraordinaire. And today she is gracious enough to be our very first guest on our real estate mastermind. It is a show that we're starting on a bi-weekly show where we're going to be interviewing local real estate agents in the community, what their successes are, so we can all get together as a community and really learn new ways of marketing, learning new success strategies so we can survive this ever evolving real estate market that we're in. So, Nichole, thank you very much for being here today. I appreciate your time. I know how busy you are with that. So, just a little bit of background. I've known Nichole for years personally and as also a business partner. We do quite a lot of transactions together. And one of the things that I've really admired about Nichole is I don't know what she does, but she is phenomenal at getting offers accepted with very little counters. And every deal has some hair on it nowadays. Every deal is tough. A lot of buyers are needing help. They're needing help with closing cost, or hey, I need to buy the rate down a little bit to get them to help qualify, but they don't have enough money to do that. So we need from the help from the sellers. And Nichole is a master at getting those offers accepted with very little fight, very little struggle. And I'm like, we can't do this if I don't get this. Okay, man, I got you. And 2 weeks later, we've got a contract with everything I need. So, welcome, Nichole. Thank you for being here today. So, one of the first things I wanted to start with is can you kind of share your journey with us and how you've had success in this current market? Because in just the last year, year and a half, it has changed a lot. So, what are some of the things you've done and share your journey with us on that?
Yeah, so we started out the year, of course, it was a little slower than last, but I've just taken my time and done a lot of, listened to the lenders and done a lot of trainings and just keeping current with the market. You have to try to stay relevant to what's going on and it changes every day. So, yeah, every day is a new day right now and we're just rolling with the ebbs and flows of it.
Awesome. Can you share with us kind of a specific challenge that you faced in this competitive market and how you overcame it?
Yeah, so I've had some clients, buyers in particular, that the market, under 500,000 right now, we are having multiple offer situations. So I had an instance where I had a client go on the internet and get pre-approvals from online lenders. Not a good idea. So we looked at about, I don't know, probably 30 to 40 properties, all via FaceTime because he was out of the area. And he kept sending me these pre-approval letters that were from online lenders. So finally I had to get with them and was like, hey, we really need to get with a local lender. So we have stronger offers because we're not getting the ones we're sending accepted. He was more than qualified, great clients. So yeah, as soon as we got that letter, we finally went into a multi-offer situation and landed one. But yeah, it took us a minute, probably longer than it should have.
It's interesting. I think one of the biggest challenges we face as real estate professionals, as mortgage professionals, I know me personally, is combating the mainstream media. And we've been hearing for 3 years plus now, oh my God, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. And I have to explain to clients that it's very simply economics 101. There's not enough houses with with the amount of demand that there is right now. And it's just like you've thought, I didn't think it was going to happen until probably the end of summer or the fall that we were starting to see bidding wars again. It's starting to happen already. So I tell clients, I say, hey, if you're waiting for rates to come down, which they will, it's just going to get a handle on inflation, so are hundreds of thousands of other people. So when that happens and you start having multiple offers on homes, there's not going to be a crash. That's actually going to drive the prices up. So speaking of that, what are some strategies that you employ to help make your offers stand out from others? What are some of those things that you do that it's like, hey man, I know we need some extra help or we need this, but we're the best and you get selected. What are some of the things that you do with that?
So first off, it's assessing the situation. Every deal is different, as you know. Um, I call the agent. I call agents with pending escrows in the area, try to see where they came in at, see how appraisals are coming in. Because you don't obviously you don't want to have to deal with an appraisal that comes in under, which we aren't seeing right now, thank God, but we were the end of last year after the crazy. So yeah, really getting all the information you can from local realtors that are, working in that area. Talking to the listing agent and just finding out what, you know, do they have multiple offers? Are the sellers willing to work? If there's something, if it's a VA loan that I'm working with, I need to make sure that they're willing to do the work. If there is any, then maybe I've noticed, peeling paint, or something like that on the fascia or something like that. So making sure the sellers are willing to work with us and to get it to go VA. Typically we'll do a stronger EMD, especially in multiple offer situations. Appraisal contingencies, of course, are always a stickler. So, you know, putting a clause in there that we'll pay up to a certain amount, trying to guarantee the price we're giving them if we need to go that route, just to kind of eliminate some hurdles that we might encounter later on. Next, you know, making sure my buyer is able to compete. Depending on how much money they have, we might have to, get more down, or we might not be able to get a seller credit, uh, just depending on the situation. And seller credits really aren't a thing right now, just in the, you know, local Reno area under five. Maybe if you go outwards a little bit, it's still possible, but it's too hot in here right now. We have no inventory.
For the other agents that are watching this, one thing I want to point out that Nicole is really good at whenever her and I have a loan together. And this is just something that I practice normally, but she'll always ask me, "Hey man, do you mind calling a listing agent?" Absolutely not. Because one, there's a good chance I might know, you know, a listing agent. And two, just an extra conversation sometimes of, hey, we've already done this. Yes, I actually have W-2s and tax returns. Yes, we've actually figured out their income. Yes, we've ran them through, automated underwriting, et cetera, et cetera. That goes an extra long way, because I think one of the big things that we really need to realize is, unless you're going to be an agent that just does all cash deals, the majority of people need financing. So it's important to have that united front with your lender and work together as a team to help your mutual clients get their offer accepted. So that was awesome, Nicole. Thank you. How do you convince potential buyers that you're the right agent to represent them, in a highly competitive market? You have great rapport with your clients. So I was just kind of curious on, what are some things you do to say, "Hey, I'm your agent and I'm good and this is why." What are some things you do with that?
Well, I'm huge on relationships, as you know, like building relationships with my lenders, title company, like all the people that I work with on the daily. Other agents, I think it's huge that we're all together. We work together because we're all in this together. I don't believe in fighting against one another. So, having relationships with the people that you're going to be working with is, that's huge for my buyers because, they know I have backing in my corner, or be like, "Hey, I know someone I can call," or, whatever. I haven't had any escrows that ever fell out. I always work really hard to keep going, pushing through, you know, anything that comes up. There's always a solution. It's just how you want to be, how creative you can get to, come to a conclusion to overcome it. Like I said, I try to stay up on the market. I'm very straightforward. My clients when they come to me. So it's like they know that they're going to get authentic, genuine service from me every time because, they trust me. Building that trust is, one of the biggest things you can do with your clients. And, sticking with them, no matter how long it takes. I don't, people are always like, why are you still working with that client? They're just using you. But it's like, well, no, it's just not the time yet. We haven't found their house yet. I'm not gonna tell them to buy something that they don't want, that will just lead to, whether it's a problem down the road, or they'll write me a bad review. Relationships are huge because they're going to be sending you referrals, whether they buy from you or not. If you join them on that journey, you just stick with them no matter what. It might be years, but they might send you referrals before that. So just relationships, that's really all it's all about.
Yeah. That is one thing I can attest to is the sales cycles are longer now. A year ago, 2 years ago, it was not uncommon. Hey, we have someone pre-approved. They're out shopping within, 5 to 7 days a week. And 2, 3 weeks later, we're in contract. Now it's not uncommon, people that I have pre-approved in like March are just now getting into contract. And it can be a juggling act sometimes because, okay, hold on. The market's crazy. Rates are on this little roller coaster thing. Hey man, do we still qualify? We want to keep those things. So that's a lot of things to keep in mind too, just because the cycles are longer now because inventory is lower. So it's important to make sure buyers are behaving themselves. And I always make the joke with people and I'm like, hey man, don't go buy like a Ferrari on or a boat on me. And they're like, can't get a Ferrari here in them all, but you're gonna remember I said that. If I just say don't go get a car, so you're gonna remember a Ferrari or boat because those things can really, really impact. So you're really good at marketing. What are some of the things that you can share with us how you market yourself to potential buyers and how that's involved given how the current market conditions is? Because there's a lot of fear out there with the public, and a lot of people are like, I don't know, should I buy now or what do I do? How has that evolved for you? And what are some of the things you do to market to your potential clients?
Well, thank you for thinking I'm good at marketing because I don't feel like I am. I'm working on it, trying to be more present on social media. I feel like, just the people on your social media are typically your friends, but they see you, they trust you, and they're going to refer you to other, people that are in their circle that might not necessarily be in ours. But again, it's more just building relationships and keeping my relationships with my past clients because those seem to be my biggest refers. Having dinner with one tonight. But yeah, we're always staying connected and just being out in our community, talking to people, being where you're comfortable and meeting the people that are similar to you. It's an easy way to get into people's world and you never know.
Yeah, databases are huge, and it's kind of interesting. I've been doing this a long time, and I got something pointed out to me literally. It was yesterday by my coach, and he went into it on how we get so laser focused on just our one client, but every potential lead or every potential client we have, there's literally an opportunity for like 20 different leads from that one client. And I was like, well, explain. And he's like, they're probably on Facebook. They got Facebook friends, 500, 600, 700 people, how many it is. He's all, anybody that's over the age of 18 will probably be eventually able to qualify to get a house. They've got grandparents, they've got moms, dad, and when you really open it up like that, I never thought about that. So that's something to think about too, as why your database is so important. And I believe it was Tom Ferry. I'll double check, but I believe it was Tom Ferry. He did a study, and in a 20-year real estate career, one client was worth $100,000 in income in 20 years, because if you do it right, it's repeat business for that client. Hey, you got your house. Let's go get you an investment portfolio started now. And they have friends, family that all needs to buy. So if you think about that in that sense, how important your database is. So for our fellow realtors out there watching, get your database started ASAP because you're missing out on a lot of opportunity. So, Nicole, awesome. I got one more question for you. So, finally, can you share any advice to your fellow realtors who are looking to not just only survive, but thrive and do well, in this challenging market that we're in?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, most importantly, just be yourself. People don't want to be sold. People don't want to be lied to or gimmicked or, you know, put your name in a hat and then you start marketing them for real estate when they're not even interested in real estate. Find out what people are interested in and start there, build a relationship. And then, you're going to end up there sometime. But yeah, people just want real people right now because there's so much garbage in the world. So
Really.
building genuine connections right now with your fellow agents, with your lenders, take the classes. We have so many classes in this town that are offered to us on a daily or over Zoom nationally. We have to stay relevant. We have to stay current on what's going on. I don't watch the news, but I know what's going on in our real estate market. That's all that matters.
I'm right with you. There's a funny story that I'll share real quick. It's probably 6 months ago, 8 months ago, but it was, we've been on that trend every single time that the Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates. And one of the biggest myths out there that the general, and it's not their fault, they're getting this from major news outlets, is that whenever the feds raise interest rates, oh my God, your mortgage went up. And that's not true. The Fed's fund rate actually affects shorter term rates, credit cards, car loans, things like that. And I won't say the name of the news network, but it was a major news network. And they supposedly had a real estate pro on there and a mortgage pro person on there. And guarantee you, neither of these people were ever in the mortgage industry or did real estate. But the guy straight out came out and he's like, oh, they just raised it a half a point. Your mortgage just got a half a point higher. And I sat there and got mad at the TV. My wife's trying to calm me down. And I'm like, how the heck are they on there and letting them tell us this? But I sat there and I thought, how many thousands of people just saw that and got crushed? Oh my God, we can't afford a house right now because of misinformation. So I think it's our job as a community of professionals to do things like this and get that positive message out there and get actual facts and data out there and not emotions, but actual, facts and data. So I agree with you 110% on that. So thank you.
Well, and educating our clients right now is huge because, yeah, they just see what a lot of them watch the news, unfortunately, or social media or whatever it is that they're getting their information from. And yeah, they're scared. I feel like a lot of them have jumped off the interest rate ship, but you know, ev- everything that they're beating into them is scaring, keeping them scared.
And I'm going to share a quick statistic with everyone here, real quick. So, the latest information that came out, this is actually just last week, the average nationwide, in every state, the average that we're experiencing right now in appreciation is about 5.96% nationwide, kind of varying from market to market. So, that's almost a 6% appreciation a year on a home. There's not going to be a crash. And so one of the themes is educating clients like, hey, even if you do get in at a higher interest rate now, your home loan is a financial tool. You're still going to build positive equity. I mean, if it's a $500,000 house and we're getting 5% appreciation a year, that's $25,000 a year in appreciation. In 10 years, that home is now worth $750,000, but your balance on your mortgage has gone down. So we can teach people out there that, hey, all the time, is it a good time to buy? That depends on you, your individuality. Yes, every market has its ups and downs and things like that, but it all depends on what's best for you and your family at that particular time. So I think it's important that we keep getting that positive information out there. So I love you, Nicole. Thank you so much for your time
Love
today.
you. Thank you. Thanks
Yes.
for having
So
me.
absolutely. So if anybody else is interested on being on our mastermind, we would love to have you because as a community, when we share positivity like this, like, I mean, heck, like I just shared the other day, I never thought about there's 20 different potential other clients from one lead. That blew my mind. And he actually laid it out. And I was like, oh my gosh, do they have a CPA? Do they have this? They have a home insurance guy. So there's a lot of opportunity out there for us, guys. Just stay positive. Keep doing the good work. And again, if you're interested, please let me know and we'll be happy to get you on the schedule and have you on. Nicole, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
And we look forward to having you on again. Thanks, Nicole.
Awesome. See you soon.